Hey, it's me with another Magic the Gathering video. Um, this is specifically Planeswalkers. Um, I have every Planeswalker that's out so far. So I just thought I'd do a video on them. Why not? First up is Gideon Jura. Comes into play with 6 counters. Add 2 during target opponent's next turn. Creatures that player controls attack Gideon Jura if able. Remove 2, destroy target tapped creature. Till 0 until end of turn. Becomes a 6/6 human soldier creature that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to in this turn. Next up is Sarkon the Mad. Comes into play with 7 counters. 0, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Sarkon the Mad deals damage to himself equal to that card's converted mana cost. Remove 2, target creature's controller sacrifices it, then that player puts a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying into play. Remove 4, each dragon creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player. Elspeth Knight Errant comes into play with 4 counters. Add 1, put a 1/1 soldier into play. Add 1, target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying till end of turn. Remove 8 for the rest of the game. Artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control are indestructible. I'm going by set, so this is all Shards of Alara here, and then that was Rise of the Eldrazi. Tezzeret the Seeker comes into play with 4. Add 1, untap up to 2 target artifacts. Remove X, search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost X or less and put it into play. Then shuffle your library. Remove 5 artifacts you control, become 5/5 artifact creatures till end of turn. Sarkon Vol, which I think is the better of the Sarkons, comes into play with 4. Add 1, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste till end of turn. Remove 2, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. And remove 6, put 5/4/4 red dragon creature tokens with flying into play. Johnny Vengeant comes into play with 3 counters. Add 1, target permanent doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Remove 2, deals 3 damage to target creature or player and you gain 3 life. Remove 7, destroy all lands target player controls. Okay, now we go with Scars of Maraudon, which is the newest. Elspeth Tyrell comes into play with 4 counters. Add 2, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. Remove 2, put 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play. Remove 5, destroy all of the permanents except for tokens and lands. That's where Elspeth Knight Errant comes into play. Venser, the Sojourner, comes into play with 3 counters. Add 2, exile target permanent you own, return it to the battlefield and to your control at the beginning of the next end step. Remove 1, creatures are unblockable this turn. Remove 8, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, exile target permanent. Next up, Koth the Hammer. I think this is getting really underrated because people are complaining about it because it really only works in straight red, but that's what it's made for, straight red. Stop complaining. Comes into play with 3 counters. Add 1, untap target mountain. It becomes a 4/4 red elemental creature token until end of turn. Elemental creature, not token, my bad. It's still a land. Remove 2, add red to your mana pool for each mountain you control. I really like that ability. And I really like the last one. Remove 5, you get an emblem with mountains you control have for tap. This land deals 1 damage to target creature or player. That's like really nice in a straight red deck. Next up, Conflux, the only one they had in it. Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. Comes into play with 5. Add 3. Destroy target non-creature permanent. Remove 2. Gain control of target creature. Remove 9. Nicol Bolas deals 7 damage to target player. That player discards 7 cards. And then sacrifices 7 permanents. Okay, now we're into 2010. Garruk Wildspeaker comes into play with 3 counters. Add 1, untap 2 target lands. Remove 1, put a 3/3 green beast creature token into play. Remove 4 creatures you control, get +3/+3, and basically overrun ability. +3/+3 and gain trample till end of turn. Johnny Goldmane comes into play with 4. Add 1, you gain 2 life. Remove 1, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance till end of turn. And remove 6. Put a white avatar creature token onto the battlefield with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to your life total. And this one happened to be a foil. Pretty nice. Chandra Nalaar, everybody knows this one, but still. Comes into play with 6. Add 1, deals 1 damage to target player. Remove X, deals X damage to target creature. Remove 8, deals 10 damage to target player and each creature he or she controls. Liliana Vess comes into play with 5 counters. Add 1, target player discards a card. Remove 2, search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. I really like that ability. And remove 8, put all creature cards in all graveyards into play under your control. Whoops, I got 2 Chandra Nalaars there. My bad. Jace Beleren comes into play with 3 counters. Add 2, each player draws a card. Remove 1, target player draws a card. Remove 10, target player puts the top 20 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Now we're into Zendikar. Nissa Ravane. This is another one people complain about because you can't use it in a non-elf deck, but so what? It's made for an elf deck. People that have elf decks love it. Comes into play with 2 counters. She's an elf, so she's smaller. But, so what? Add 1, search your library for a card named Nissa's Chosen, put it into play, then shuffle your library. You don't have to have Nissa's Chosen, you can still do the ability though. Add 1, you gain 2 life for each elf you control. Remove 7, search your library for any number of elf creature cards and put them onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. Chandra Ablaze comes into play with 5 counters. Add 1, discard a card. If a red card is discarded this way, it deals 4 damage to target creature or player. Remove 2, each player discards his or her hand and draws 3 cards. Remove 7, cast any number of red instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard without paying their mana cost. Sorin Markov comes into play with 4 counters. Add 2, deals 2 damage to target creature or player and you gain 2 life. Remove 3, target opponent's life total becomes 10. And remove 7, you control target player's next turn. And last but not least, World Wake, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Comes into play with 3, add 2, look at the top card of target player's library. You may put that card on the bottom of that player's library. 0, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Remove 1, return target creature to its owner's hand. Remove 12, exile all cards from target player's library. Then that player shuffles his or her hand into his or her library. Basically, their hand becomes their library. So yeah, that's all the Planeswalkers so far for Magic the Gathering. Took quite a while to get them all, I'll tell you that. But, yeah, that's it. Till next time, peace.